Hello, welcome back to Buckle Up. My name's Jasper and this is
the Twisted TVS, a modified Land Rover Defender 110. Oh, and I'm Harry King, by the way. And Jasper, I think you should get down so we can actually do a car review.
Fine.
So, here at the front of the Twisted, they've done a really incredible job of making this look both completely different to a standard Defender and also still look like a Defender. It's subtle and very well done.
Like, if you looked at this and you didn't see the Twisted script, you'd just go, oh, it's a Defender, wouldn't you?
Yes. It's definitely is still a Defender, but you've got this grille, which Twisted do.
It's very nice.
It's proud and then smooth on the front, instead of just having kind of diagonal plastic, which you would usually get. And then there would usually be surrounds in this light area where there's this indent. They take all of that out, they smooth over everywhere that it would be attached normally, and then they change up all the lighting, don't they, Jasper?
Yes, so you've got full LED headlamp clusters here with your dipped and main beams. You've got standard halogen bulb indicators, but you do have LED side lights here, and in this fantastically chunky and purposeful looking steel bumper, you've got daytime LED running lights here, which are on unless any other lights are on, basically.
Do you reckon this bumper's quite strong?
I suspect it might be, Harry, because it does look like the crash structure of the car.
Yeah, that's very sturdy. You could take out a cow with that.
We have just been cancelled from YouTube because you twerked in the video, though.
We could take out a cow with that.
Yes, quite possibly. We're not going to do that today, though, are we?
Should we see if it's similarly sturdy down the side?
I suspect it might be. So, yes, it looks very sturdy, and I think a good place to start here is with wheels and tyres, because not only have you got some fantastic BF Goodrich proper off-road tyres, but look at these alloy wheels. These are a Twisted design. They're 18 inches in diameter, and they look fantastic, don't they?
Yeah, they push the whole wheel out, and the fitment on these cars is incredible. And the fitment is incredible, not just in the wheel arches. Twisted go through every single panel, nut and bolt on a Defender, and they make it as good as it possibly can be. So the shut lines on here and down the side of the bonnet, round all the doors, it's completely even. You do not get this on a factory Defender. They do not come like this. They were poorly bolted together by bored people in Solihull. This
looks so well built, doesn't it?
It's just full of care and attention.
Yeah, and I think another reason to mention those alloys, of course, is they fitted bigger brakes. So you've got 6 piston calipers up front and 4 piston calipers in the rear. So you've actually got some proper stopping power in this. Obviously, really chunky off-road because it's a Defender, but you've got a great big side step with checker plating along it, which is very good because it's not very easy to get in and out of, you know. It's actually quite high up, and obviously the wheel size and tyre size does have an impact there.
Lifts it even higher than it already was.
Yes. The Defender was already quite tall, and it's even taller in this guise.
Yes, now the observant among you may have noticed that this is a 110. Specifically, this is a 110 utility wagon, which means it gets this kind of hard top at the back with no window, so you can fill it up with things and they will be kept private and secure. Of course, it is still a Defender, so you can probably open it with a screwdriver. But
you'd ruin your fitment, though, wouldn't you? You'd ruin the shut lines.
You would ruin the shut. Please, car thieves, think of the shut lines. I do like the look of this, though. I think it makes it look more purposeful.
Yes.
And then down here, a holdover. You have your fuel filler flap, which isn't a flap. It's just a hole in the side of the car with a fuel filler cap, which does lock, which is good.
Yes.
It'll stop anyone from siphoning out your fuel or sabotaging you in any way. And, Jasper, in there, you do not put diesel.
It says unleaded underneath it.
Petrol.
Which is a bit of a clue.
Yes.
But we'll save that, shall we?
We will save that.
Yes. Other things to note around the side, you've got some absolutely mahoosive mud flaps.
You've got to keep this lovely paint clean.
Yes. And the paintwork is gorgeous, by the way, as are these decals. They're really quite tasteful. And you've got a massive roof rack up at the top. So if you want to put quite a lot of stuff on top of this. I mean, Twisted will give you a roof tent if you want one, won't they?
Yeah, well,
you can do anything with this space up here. It's really big, really sturdy.
The thing is, Jasper, I'm not sure I could get up to the roof rack from here very easily.
You mentioned that. If we have a look around the back, there may or may not be a ladder to climb up.
Oh, let's go and see that.
So yes, here it is. An ladder to allow you access to the roof rack, which is very handy. You can get your foot up on the bumper and then clamber up if you need to.
Yes. Also, at the back, it's a standard Defender thing, but Twisted keep it in place and keep it functional. You have a full-size spare back here on a proper alloy to match all the other ones, which means if something should go wrong off-road and you lose a tyre, you can just swap this one on and keep on going on your way. You're not stranded, well, somewhere like this, I suppose.
It's not a space-saver spare. It's an actual proper same tyre as you've got everywhere else.
Yeah.
So it is like a bolt-on, bolt-off replacement.
Real off-road utility. Yeah. Speaking of utility, Jasper, the tow bar.
Yes, so down here you've got a tow bar integrated nicely into this steel bumper. You've also got an Alpine reversing camera, which is wired into the infotainment system, and that is positioned perfectly in line with your tow bar, so you can use it for hitching up. And something that Twisted have actually bothered to do, that Land Rover never did, is they've done a good job of integrating the tow bar electrics. They've put them into the power takeoff hole that all Defenders have in the back bumper, rather than kind of just leaving them down here somewhere. So it's a really clean back end here for such a utilitarian vehicle.
Also, in standard Twisted fashion, all of the rear lights have been uprated.
Yes.
But they retain their original style, so they still fit here and here. If you've seen a new Defender, this is what they're trying to imitate. On that, it looks like an afterthought. On this, it looks very good indeed.
Yes. You've still got your standard plate fitment place as well, which is really nice to see.
Now, it's a side hinging tailgate. It's not the full width of the vehicle. These are just the facts. But you do have a lovely large loading area. Demonstrate it, Jasper. He's well trained.
So weirdly, yes, it's quite spacious back here, but something that is very different, I think, to a standard Defender is how nice the finish in here is. So it's absolutely festooned in stitched leather, hand-stitched leather, nonetheless, and I've got a completely Alcantara ceiling.
Jasper.
Alcantara, sorry.
Alcantara.
Leather around all of the structure. There's speakers in the back here, so uprated sound system. This door, obviously, leather wrapped with contrast stitching and a cargo net. You don't actually have any tie-down points in here, I don't believe.
You do have some underfloor storage.
Yes.
And in here, Jasper, you have space for everything you would possibly need.
For a day out in the countryside.
For a day out in the countryside. So there's space here for your shotguns.
Yep.
There's space here for your champagne glasses, and then a couple of bottles of something special as well. Again, it's a Twisted. All of this can be done to spec, so whatever you might need in here, if you'd like to have off-road equipment or radio gear or something like that for an overlanding spec one, or if you want some kind of toolkit, fold-away toolkit, they can facilitate your needs. It's just that this is quite a good demonstrator for a lot of people who are interested in this vehicle.
Yeah. Or if you don't want one at all, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to just not fit one for you.
Yes, you can just take... So this is open space in a regular Defender, and then they fit this box in between what are ostensibly the wheel arches, but they're massive square boxes of metal that fill the entire side of the boot.
Yeah, not great packaging from factory, but Twisted have done a fantastic job of making it a lot more usable, because you've got a pretty flat load floor in here now.
Yes.
And a surprising amount of space.
It's still a huge amount of space. It's the one thing you always had, and you still have a huge amount of space.
Yes.
The thing is, Jasper, is will there be a huge amount of space in the back seats?
No.
Well, let's go and see. So here inside, Jasper, I think first we should talk about all of the luxury trimming. Obviously, there was some in the boot, but...
Well, it continues very much so inside this cabin. Beautiful, gorgeous, high-quality tanned leather seats with hand-stitched embossing all over them, hand-stitched contrast stitching elements all over them. The headrests are gorgeous. I mean, even the backs of the front seats are wrapped in leather. They've taken everything that isn't just the, you know, kind of critical bits of plastic and wrapped it in leather, or our good friend Alan on the ceiling. The finish of it all is absolutely wonderful.
I'm especially a fan of the square waffle pattern that they put into
it's absolutely beautiful. And I have a feeling that Twisted are so nice that if you wanted a different pattern here, they'd do it for you, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, you can go to town with customization in the interior on these. They are really good.
The sky's the limit with Twisted. They have a seamstress in their factory in Thirsk, and she can do everything. We've been talking about how this is all hand-stitched. And I want to state emphatically that that isn't, oh, you can tell this is hand-stitched. These stitches are arrow straight.
Yeah.
They follow the contour lines and the join lines of all of the interior trim perfectly. You can also buy a selection of fine leather goods from Twisted's lovely cafe at the old cinema. I was perusing them while I was waiting for you to turn up for this shoot.
The attention to detail is absolutely incredible in here. It really is. It's just, you know, the selection of materials and the way it's all put together is fantastic.
But shall we talk about practicality now?
Yes, we can do. And you know, you said the sky's the limit.
Yes.
Speaking of sky, I've got some Alpine lights up here, which are very nice. It's a classic Defender thing, and you can just have a look up towards the ceiling.
Well, here's the thing. If you're my height or Rob's height and you're sitting in the back, you actually look sideways out of them.
Oh, well.
Because your head...
It's nice being short. I can look up to things
Your
through
head
that.
is up here. So these seats are very raised.
Yeah, they are quite a lot higher than the front seats. Probably a good 20, 30 centimetres, I'd say. You know, you're talking that much higher than the front seats, at least.
Yeah.
So you do get quite a nice view forwards to the front of the Defender.
Yes, but again, if you're taller, you actually gets to the point
at the front of the bonnet.
You're looking down onto the bonnet into the road. You can't see like the sky ahead of you, which is why the Alpine lights are good, because it does help you actually have visibility out. They're also excellent if you want to go on a safari, which is why they were originally fitted, I believe. And they're called Alpine lights because the trains that go through the Alps have these on the carriages. The seat space, Jasper.
Well, what seat space? So
yes.
I'm not overly tall, as we like to quite frequently remind viewers on this channel. And to be honest, I mean, I've just got enough room, but I can actually brush my knees against the back of this driver's seat, which is currently set up in your driver's position, which is just as far back as it possibly goes.
It's set as far back as it will go. So this is the least legroom you would ever have.
Yes. Now, Twisted can work some amazing stuff, but they cannot work miracles, and this is just a constraint of the Land Rover Defender. It never really had a tremendous amount of space for rear passengers, did it?
No.
So they can do a lot, but they can't kind of improve on some fundamental issues with the platform.
Also, all of this gets worse if it's a pickup.
Yes.
So the seat backs go upright,
this comes
and
further,
it comes
I would be like
a bit forwards.
I would be...
This is obviously the most comfortable if you're going to have rear occupants, children in the back. Although I will say, obviously, this is based on a Defender. There are no airbags. And is there ISOFIX in there, Jasper?
No. Weirdly, no ISOFIX.
There's 3-point... So safety features. There are 3-point seat belts.
They're beautifully integrated into the panelling around here and into the seat bases as well.
Yes. Well, I've finished listing the safety features now.
The floor has some fantastic utilitarian rubber matting on it, and you've got a very much keep fit window there.
Leading on that.
Keep fit window, and...
There's no door pockets, there's no seat back pockets.
That's it.
There's no power, and there's no air vents.
No.
It's still...
It's still a Defender.
Like we said, this is a beautifully customised and modified Land Rover Defender. You can't get away from the base of it. And the people who love these cars, I'm one of them, this is absolutely fine by us. If you love Land Rovers, this is like the peak of what one can be.
Absolutely.
Twisted do an amazing job with that. Let's see, though, what they've done in the front.
We are now here in the front, Harry, and I'm pleased to say that I have a little bit more space up here. However, I know that somebody who's a little bit taller than I am would basically have their knees wedged into the dashboard. or the door card. And to be honest, actually, elbow-wise...
And I want to say, for complete transparency...
That's exactly like a normal Defender.
No, I was about to say, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a quirk of this car.
You have to go into a Land Rover Defender with your eyes open.
Yes. You have to know what to expect.
Because obviously, there are lots of people who might love the look of one of these and have never been in one.
Yeah.
Do go and sit in one. You'll know very quickly if the driving position is suitable to you or not.
Yeah, like this is fine. You're not going to be massively comfortable per se.
Yeah.
But
this interior was designed before the word ergonomics was in the common parlance.
Yeah, from a human engineering perspective,
the design is very human.
This is an ergonomic nightmare. But it's brilliant and we do love it.
Yes, so again, everything is absolutely just covered in leather and lovely materials.
Nice.
You have this aftermarket twisted steering wheel. That is important. A traditional Defender steering wheel is much bigger and you end up with not a lot of room between your right hand and the door. This is much improved from that.
You can work it a little bit quicker.
Yes. No horn button.
No horn button, but a beautiful anodized aluminium centerpiece, which is lovely, and it has the twisted script actually engraved into it.
Yes.
Your horn button is on the end of your indicator stalk, so the controls are the same as in a traditional Defender here. Lights are this little switch behind the steering wheel. Your wiper and washer controls are on this side, and then your back window buttons are here.
Yes, you have a whole series of buttons down the side of this.
It's very utilitarian.
Yes. Also, very, very thin door cards. So again, no real pockets down here.
Nope. Well, just no pockets, full stop. There's nothing.
Well, there's a floor, Jasper, if you must put something somewhere.
Yes.
You've got your door locks here.
Ooh. Very proper sounding door locks.
Yeah, and that's to open the door, and this is a door handle.
Yes. And
these are your door features.
Yeah. If you have larger legs or a bit of a wider stance than I do, your leg will be kind of jabbed into this door handle. And there's not a tremendous amount of space in this pedal box.
It's fine because it's coated in lovely soft
leather. It is, yes. So you've got the same square stitched pattern on these door cards. It's absolutely gorgeous in here. You've still got Alcantara, and you've got Alcantara coated sun visors, which are wonderful. So
just look how thick they are.
Yeah,
I could sleep on that.
Proper chunky sun visor.
Chunky.
The dashboard itself is brilliant. I mean, you've got this stitched contrast leather everywhere, a quite well integrated aftermarket Alpine stereo system.
Yes, so it's an aftermarket touchscreen with navigation in it and Apple CarPlay.
Yes.
They can do you one with Android Auto, if you ask nicely. Also, operated speaker system, so as you mentioned, there's extra speakers in the boot. There are also other speakers around the vehicle. Yes. To make the sound system much better.
Yeah, you've got some in the dashboard underneath here, and then tweeters on the top at either side.
Underneath all of this amazing material that they've added for aesthetic reasons, there's also extra soundproofing.
Yes.
And also, obviously, all the work to make the body panels fit better helps with the general squeaks and rattles, which we'll of course see what the result of all of that is once we're driving the car. You've got your center console storage area, which is huge. And does have USB power in it. You've got twin cup holders down here, so you do have some practical touches. Yes, they are the only cup holders in the vehicle. That's it. And you've also got the traditional shelf underneath the grab handle that the passenger can lunge for when the driver's absolutely hooning it round an off-road course. Something to grab onto. There aren't any other grab handles though. No. You do have these lovely, delicate A-pillars. Yes. Which are just amazing for visibility and terrible in a rollover. Yeah, and yet they've also wrapped this centrepiece in leather. The attention to detail is phenomenal. I was just going to say you can get an exterior roll cage for a Defender, which I would thoroughly recommend. Yes. Because it's a body-on-frame chassis vehicle, and there's not a huge amount of strength in this roof structure. Past having a roof rack on it, it won't really hold the full weight of the vehicle. Little bit buckly under rollover circumstances. Can be, can be. You've got to give yourself your best possible chances. Obviously, seating position. I'm all right. This is the OG command seating position, Jasper. Yes, it is. And actually, as I stand next to the car, you are at eye level. So I'm taller sitting in this than I am standing on the ground, obviously. I mean, it is 1,000,000 feet in the air thanks to these lovely big wheels and tyres.
You've got an updated gauge cluster as well.
Yeah, so this is from like the final version of the Defender, where it had the analog gauges that you would have seen in a Land Rover Discovery of the same age.
Yes, except it says Twisted in it.
Yes.
And petrol, which is unusual for this era of Defender.
Well, yeah, but basically impossible. Manual.
Yes, it is a manual, and they've got a blooming marvellous leather gate around it. You've got stitched leather around the gear knob, and of course you've got your manual transfer case down here as well.
Now is a good opportunity to speak about the engine. So this is a TVS.
Yes.
And what that means is they take the 2.3 litre 4-cylinder Ford engine from a Mustang and pop it in one of these. So it has 308 horsepower. It's available with a 6-speed manual or with an automatic 8-speed auto. So if you want to go auto, you can do that in one of these. You don't have to go with the manual because it is still relatively agricultural. Proper transfer case. This is also not the only Twisted Defender there is. Hopefully we'll get to drive some more on the channel soon.
Yes.
But in the meantime, I'll just run you through. They do diesel variants. They operate the diesel engine for you. You can go to them with whatever Defender you want, like, or have, and they will do something for you. Depending on the engine, depends on how much they can do. But I know, for example, they really like TD5, and they can take that well up into 170 horsepower. They can do the same with the later 2.4 and 2.2 Puma diesel engines. Yeah. And then the king of the hill, the cream of the crop, is an LS3 V8 motor with 450 horsepower.
Yeah, so just cramming a, what is it, 6.2 litre?
Yeah, that's V8. auto only.
So if you want a lot of power and, well, it's, to be honest, in something like this, it's an almost ungodly amount of power, but an excellent soundtrack, go for one of them.
But with all of that out of the way, Jasper, I think we've spoken enough about the interior. Shall we go and drive it?
Yeah. Obviously, like we said earlier, Twisted can do a lot, but they can't work wonders. So the driving experience in terms of control input feels very much like an Defender.
Yes, it's still a Land Rover Defender driving experience. This manual is a long throw manual gearbox, and it's not, you know, the tightest box in the world by any means.
It wobbles quite a bit in gear.
The clutch is heavy, the brakes are heavy, the throttle is very weirdly positioned.
Yes, the pedal box itself is basically all off to the right-hand side of the footwell.
As is the steering wheel.
Yes.
You're right next to the window.
Yes.
Many Defender drivers will drive with the window open for this reason. But this is a lot more powerful.
Yes, it is.
And, keyly, Jasper, it's a lot quieter.
Yes, it's remarkably refined in this cabin, actually.
Compared to a normal Defender.
Yes.
Compared to any other modern car.
It's awful.
There's rattles. I wouldn't go as far as awful.
No, it's not awful.
They've done a lot of good work with the sound deadening.
They have indeed.
That's for sure. Give it a bit of beans.
So yes, Ford's 2.3 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine kind of works in this, is the best way of saying it, really. It's, you can probably tell from my face, having put my foot down, it sounds excellent in terms of induction noise. You can really hear that turbo whistling as well, can't you?
Yeah, you get the wastegate noise.
Which is fantastic.
There's a bit of driveline shunt.
Yeah.
So it's not super smooth engagement.
No.
But again, it's based on a Defender. The main thing is it's much quicker and more drivable on faster roads.
Absolutely.
And the suspension and the steering geometry is improved, so it does actually hold the road much better.
Yes, it does.
And it is easier to steer and direct down the road. And you have the big brakes, which gives you a bit of reassurance that things are going to be okay.
It inspires a lot more confidence in terms of drivability than a traditional Defender does, I think, is a way of summarising it.
Yeah.
Your control inputs are broadly similar, but the steering does feel a lot tighter than I remember from driving a normal Defender. The gearbox is broadly the same, but yeah, it's pretty good. And that instant power and that punch you get from this engine in this, it's so detached from anything you're used to in terms of Defender driving. It makes it a lot more enjoyable and so much more fun to actually put your foot down, because you can in this. It's not something you were able to do in another or an older Defender with a 2-litre diesel or a 2.2 or 2.4, whatever.
Yeah.
You could put your foot into the mat and you'd still be kind of waiting, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 16 seconds to 60 was the kind of the norm.
Yeah.
Shall I have a go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whee! Yes, so I like Defenders a lot.
Yes.
We should say that now.
Well, I think I do as well, actually. I'm just very aware of their shortcomings, but the actual Defender experience is fantastic, I think.
No, Defenders are perfect and you're a moron, as are all the people on the internet who say otherwise. I know best. Buy one of these cars. No, yeah, I like these a lot. I mean, how many other cars can you just drive off a road in? It's a handful. And how many of them will be filled with exquisite leather like this?
Not that many. Now, I suspect if you were looking to purchase one of these and were looking at maybe if you lived, say, in more of a city or something like that, it would definitely be worth you looking at the automatic option.
Well, also, a big benefit of this conversion is it does bring ULEZ compliance along with it.
Absolutely, which
so
is
if
not
you own,
sniffed at.
Yeah, there is no Defender from the factory that was ULEZ compliant other than the final works one with the V8 in it, where they only made 150. So if you want a ULEZ compliant Defender, you can take it to Twisted, they'll fit this engine, and then you're compliant, which is a massive benefit.
Absolutely.
And we should... sorry, just to talk through Twisted a bit more, you don't have to buy a full conversion. So this is a full conversion. You get this plate down here, you get some various plates around the outside of the vehicle. You have to get a full conversion from them to get that. You can also just buy parts from them, or you can have them install just specific items if you want. So you could, in theory, just get them to do the engine.
Yeah.
If you're getting them to do this engine, though, get the brakes done would be what I'd say.
Yes.
Because
it stops well with these brakes. It stops
really well.
Yeah. Surprisingly well, because I'm used to, in a Defender, essentially having to apply my entire body weight to the brake pedal to get any kind of stopping out of it. But this, you've got to put some effort in because they're not overly assisted.
Yeah.
But they are so much better than stock.
So much better. Obviously, there's no radar cruise control. There's not even cruise control. No. The steering is still fairly numb, even though it's significantly improved.
Yes.
Over the standard Defender.
And I think that wheel makes such a difference as well. It's so much more workable.
Yeah.
You can be a lot quicker with the steering in this.
So, important considerations if you're looking to buy one of these. Do you fit comfortably in the cabin, and can you live with this seating position? Yeah. I could. I'm a lunatic. Please check.
If you're 5'7.5", it will actually be all right.
Yes. 2, even though this is a fabulous, fantastic, and beautifully upgraded car, it is still based on a Defender, and they're Marmite. You either love or hate them. If you love them, you're going to love this.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's the best version you can get.
Yeah, yeah. Our enthusiasm is real and genuine, and we love this car. If you don't like Defenders, this isn't going to magically fix them.
No.
But also, if you don't like Defenders, I don't like you, so stop watching. And with that, Jasper, I think we should probably go back for a conclusion.
We probably should, yes, Harry. Now we've lost the remaining portion of the audience.
So I think our key tenets for this conclusion, Jasper, are: can we agree Twisted has done an amazing job, and Twisted generally does amazing jobs upgrading Defenders?
Absolutely. I think also it's probably worth saying they're a fantastic company, and all of the people we've met have been so friendly.
Yeah.
And they're just really willing to give you exactly what you want in this car. Take them a Defender and go, I'd like this, 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 and this, and they will do it for you, and they will do a bloody good job of it.
They're my sort of people.
Yeah.
2, the Land Rover Defender in general. I love Land Rover Defenders. They are cars built for a purpose.
Yeah.
They're incredibly cool, but please go with your eyes open. This is not a G-Wagon. This is not a modern Range Rover. It's a Defender.
Yeah. they've put luxury in the Defender, and they've done a very good job of it, but it is still a Defender underneath. So if you like a Defender, you'll absolutely love this.
Yes, if they'd raised its Defenderness, I wouldn't like it anymore.
No.
It's a weird line, but I like it because it's a Defender. But if you don't like Defenders, then, as I've previously said, get off the video. The third thing is, Jasper, can we get one?
Yeah, if we've got some money.
Yeah, become a member and we'll buy a Twisted Defender.
To be honest, I think I might strap myself to the roof rack on this so I can keep it.
Okay.
We'll see if that works when we get back to Twisted.
If you head down to Thirsk and see Twisted, then maybe Jasper will be attached to the top of a car there. But yes, it's a massive thumbs up from us for the Twisted TVS. Excellent car.
It's fantastic.
Thank you so much for watching the video. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. If you go down into the description, you'll find all the links to all our social medias. You'll also find 2 ways you can support the channel, which please do that so we can buy one of these. We've got merchandise, which we're both currently wearing, and we also have channel memberships right here on YouTube. So please go and do one or all of those things, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.